Australia, the largest island in the world, and the smallest of the 7 continents. Beautiful animals, sometimes odd, a lot of desert, and few people. But recently, this great place caught up in flames. Stick around, and we're going to talk about it. Hey guys, this is Carson from Wild About Nature. This is a YouTube channel about wildlife. Anything about wildlife, nature, animals, you name it. And if you're new here, be sure to go down to the description and click that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. So if any of you pay attention to the news, you'll notice that within the last few months, Australia has had some major fires. I mean, it's not just some fires popping up here and there or some forest fires. I'm talking about fires that have spread basically well over 2/3 of the entire continent. Nothing like it before. And you may be asking, well, what has happened to start these fires and what are people doing about it? Well, we're going to get into that today. But first, we really have to understand. So, Australia is the largest island in the world, and it's also the smallest continent in the world. And Australia is actually about only a third size smaller than the United States. And it has various ecosystems in it, like it's got deserts, forests, grasslands, all that kind of stuff. But the very interesting thing about Australia compared to the United States is that it only has 26 million residents in the whole continent. And compare that to the United States is 370 million. It is basically 14 times smaller than the United States. So what does that mean? Well, it basically means that there are less cities to block all kinds of weather. It blocks a lot of, it can't block as much wind, rain, or anything like that. And people are pretty spread out throughout Australia as well. And one of the least populated parts in all of Australia is the desert area that it has. The desert area, the Australian outback, covers roughly around almost half of the entire continent. So having that much inhabitable territory in the whole island, or continent, whatever you want to call it, we'll call it continent for the sake of this video, I guess. So having that much desert in such a fairly small continent, you don't have a lot of people living there. So people are all spread out in the whole country, and you just don't really have a lot of, and with there being less people in Australia, you just don't really have a lot to block out the weather. And the less people you have in certain areas, the less people are available to control any kind of weather that happens. So now that we know that bushfires that have been started basically all over New South Wales, Australia, which is the particular location that it's been at, it's basically gone out of control with the lack of major cities populating the area to stop wind flow, and also especially the lack of rain. Because remember, this has happened during the summer season, and therefore with less rain, higher wind, more fuel for the fire, because fires need a lot of oxygen to be able to survive. And with the wind constantly carrying the fire, it caused it a lot easier to spread. So what's causing all the fires are bushfires, and they could be started in many different ways. It could be people forgetting to put out their campfires, it could be lightning striking trees or anything like that. And again, since Australia in the summertime gets so dry because there's a limited amount of rain, and also since there aren't very many major cities around Australia for the most part scattered around the continent, it's very easy for fires to spread. And that's why there's so many fires, and also That's why this in particular has had so many fires. So with all of that being said on how Australia's fires are started, through about 3 months, all throughout Australia's summer season, the fires have destroyed a total of well over 1 million square acres of land, killed approximately 35 people, including residents and firefighters, and well over 1 billion animals. That is about the most destructive in the last recent years, especially over one fire season in Australia in the last well over 100 years, and I think well even recorded history. Over recorded history over the last 170 years, Australia's bushfires have roughly killed about 800 people and 3 billion animals. And you put that into perspective, that means that this year alone has been the highest casualty rate of any one fire in any one season within the last 170 years. A lot of people say that it's climate change that contributes to stuff like this. Obviously, we've seen climate change affecting how many hurricanes we've seen, especially within the last 3 to 4 years, and now we're starting to see it with Australia's fires. So the question is, do we really need to stop using fossil fuels and polluting the air in order to prevent hurricanes, fires, and other natural disasters around our planet? I mean, is that really something we need to consider? So after explaining about the Australian fires, after giving detail on how these bushfires have started, how long they've lasted, and how they continued to last, and now things seem like they're coming to an end, but it doesn't stop there. Australia still has to rebuild itself. They need resources, they need people, they need everything they can possibly get. Money, food, shelter for people who even have to travel overseas to provide that extra help. So I think you're thinking at home, what can I possibly do to help on such a huge crisis like this? Well, I would have to say there have been a lot of great groups who have stepped up to help this cause. World Wildlife Fund is one of them, and Australia Zoo is helping with a lot of animals. A lot of money that they raise goes directly to the firefighters, animals, and other people who are working, and there are several other different organizations that are helping out as well. I'll link them in the description below. But yeah, I mean, even if you're not in the Australia, like I'm not in Australia, I've never been to Australia, but I've got a lot of friends over there, and it really does break my heart when I see someone's home just go up in flames. And this being the worst that has ever been recorded is just mind blowing. So, do you want to help? And I know this is not really a video that's supposed to make you guys feel bad about not donating or trying to get you donated or whatever. I just want to let some of you know what's going on with the fires. And I probably didn't do the best job of explaining, as I'm still a little bit new to YouTube. And I'm still trying to figure out the good video formats. But all in all, I just want to encourage you guys to do your part, and me do my part, in just sharing things about to people who don't know them. That's why I have this channel. I'm educating you about wildlife and animals and everything. And these Australian fires has affected a lot of wildlife and a lot of nature, which is something I'm very passionate about. I've always wanted to go to Australia and visit and be able to see all of the unique animals and really all of the unique ecosystems they have over there, and to just see a place that I've always dreamed about going to really does affect me. So if you want to, you can go ahead and support them. I encourage you to consider it or refer a friend. And also remember, if you've liked this video, be sure to hit that like button for me. Also, leave a comment if this is your first time on the channel. There is a subscribe button, and beside it there is a notification bell. Click that, and you'll be notified of all of my videos. I have posted about 24 videos up to this point, 25 or so, and there are going to be a lot more on the way. Warmer weather is coming in about another month and a half, and I'll be having a lot of good ideas, and trust me, I'll be doing a lot of out-of-state stuff too. So if you haven't checked out my channel yet, you might want to click on some playlists in the description if you would like to. So as always, this is Carson, and remember, keep watching my videos, and we will see you in the next one. So long, guys.